So a couple little tidbits regarding games for Nintendo Switch 2 that I want to share with you guys here in this video, including a look at the box art for Nintendo Switch 2 games in real life, because we've seen obviously a bunch of like PNGs and images and all that online, but actual in real life, because it's interesting to see how the art actually sort of wraps around into the spine. It's really, really cool. I'll show you guys that in a second. But we also got information regarding game sizes, file sizes from the Japanese eShop. I don't know why all this is on the Japanese eShop, but we don't see any of that anywhere in like North America or any other region. So if you do enjoy this kind of content, leave a like, subscribe for more. We do everything Nintendo, basically, from news videos like this, and then of course walkthroughs and guides when the Switch 2 comes out. Lord willing, all goes as planned. Obviously gonna unbox it. We're gonna walk you guys through everything you need to know about the actual console itself. You know, when games come out, walkthroughs and guides for that. Of course, you know, if you've been around the channel for a while, you may have seen I've done a lot of guides, you know, whether it's, you know, how to evolve this Pokemon in Pokemon whatever, or, you know, how to do this in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, or Tears of the Kingdom, or Mario, or Animal Crossing, or whatever it is. So pretty much we do everything. So from news to guides to reactions. If it's Nintendo, it goes here. I'm a huge Nintendo fan, and if you are too, you're in the right place. Okay, enough rambling. Shut up, guy. Get to the point. All right. Let's start with the box arts. This is coming from Mr. Shika over on Twitter. And this is from the Nintendo Museum over in Japan. So check this out. Really cool stuff that you can see. It looks great. The box art. So this is box art for Mario Kart World, and also for excuse me, for Donkey Kong Bonanza. Now I don't like the massive dead space at the top of the box art in the front. It really bugs me. I don't know, man. It seems to be bugging a lot of people. It really bugs me for some reason, but I love the way the art actually wraps into the spine, and assumingly wraps, I guess, all the way to the back as well, where it didn't really do that. It was kind of like, it was just kind of like the red spine. And so it just adds something a little bit different on the spine. Hopefully this is not specific to the Japanese box art. I don't think so. I hope this is universal across the board. But again, what's really bugging me is just that massive amount of dead space at the top of the box art. It's driving me nuts, man. It's just getting me like super OCD. But anyways, I think it would have been cool if the box art would have just went all the way, you know, wrapped around from the front, from the bottom to the top to the back through the spine, you know, and then just have the little Switch 2 logo in kind of like the corner of the actual box art itself, you know. And that would have looked probably cooler. But anyways, it is what it is. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. I just want to show you guys that. It's nothing too insane or crazy, obviously, but it's a nice little tidbit that we haven't seen previously, because every image of the box art is kind of like I said, like kind of, you know, PNGs or JPEGs of just kind of like the front of the box, and nothing in person. So I love that it wraps around the spine. Now, okay, in terms of actual, you know, file size, Wario64 posted this a couple days ago, and I'm late to this because there's just been too much content to cover. I have a massive list of video ideas that I still got to get through. And anyways, one thing's first, if you haven't heard, so for Cyberpunk 2077, they're actually putting the whole game, including Phantom Liberty, I guess, on a 64 gig cartridge. So the cartridges are up to 64 gigs. But what about like if you want to just get these games digital or something? Well, essentially for Mario Kart World, according to Wario64, it's going to be 23.4 gigs. Well, it's according to the Japanese eShop, to be specific. So 23.4 gigs for Mario Kart World. Donkey Kong Bonanza is going to be 10 gigs, which is significantly smaller. So maybe, you know, when you're kind of wondering, you know, about pricing differences between the two games, maybe that's something to, you know, you can consider. Like Mario Kart World is huge. I mean, Mario Kart World 2, I mean, anyways, whatever. We'll talk about it in a second. GameCube Nintendo Classics, so, you know, talking about the actual GameCube games on, you know, on the Switch 2, that's going to be a 3.5 gig file size, not too crazy. Super Mario Party Jamboree 7.7 gigs. So for comparison, it's 5.3 on the Switch 1, so it's about 2.4 gigs more. It's 2.5 gigs almost, like, bigger. But also keep in mind, a chunk of that is the new DLC. It's coming with new DLC. And the same thing with Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It's weirdly 5.7 gigs on the Switch 2, but apparently on the Switch 1 is 5.8 gigs. So it's more on the Switch 1. That one is extremely confusing to me because, again, we're getting DLC. So I don't know if they just found a way to better kind of compress the file sizes with Kirby, but that's one that really kind of threw a little loop at me that I was like, okay, that's I'm not really 100% sure how to explain that one, except the fact that, you know, maybe they, like I said, maybe they found a better way to kind of just compress the file sizes somehow on the Switch 2 version. Because again, I mean, even if they were the exact same resolution, with which they're not, it's confirmed Kirby, I think they said, is going to run at 2K, so 1440p, 60 FPS. And you know, even if it was the same resolution, which again, it's not, then it still doesn't make sense because there's additional content. There's more to it. Unless that's strictly just the game without the DLC. That's possible. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I'm very confused about them. But anyway, so those are the file sizes for the Switch 2 games from what we could see. Again, a massive difference. I want to look at really quick, just for one sec before we close out the video, Mario Kart World versus Donkey Kong Bonanza. Because, I mean, we got like a 13 gig difference. Now, you might say, like, well, you know, why is it such a big difference? Donkey Kong Bonanza seems to be a little bit more kind of like streamlined in terms of the levels and stuff. They all seem to connect from what we've seen in the gameplay. Like you're digging down and down and down, and you're going through like these sub layers, but those are kind of also like levels. Whereas Mario Kart World, instead of like, if they did with Mario Kart World like they did with every other Mario Kart, which was just kind of like track selection, then it might have been a little bit smaller, a lot smaller probably. But the thing is, you know, everything's interconnected, right? If you didn't see, it's a massive, just huge open world that you can even free roam and drive from one location to the other. And I think that's what's adding the extra data, is because everything's kind of interconnected. And so there's all the in-between stuff too. You don't just have the tracks, you have all the in-between stuff. The outside of the tracks, where normally it would just kind of be like the sandbox, well, now you can drive in all those areas, right? Those aren't just like kind of things that they can kind of hide, you know, assets, excuse me, hide, like, you know, there's different techniques, right? So you don't have to like have like, you know, full-blown assets in those out of bounds areas. But since you could drive in those areas, now everything has to be like fleshed out, if that makes sense. So anyways, that's probably why it's a lot bigger. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to share that with you guys, the file sizes, and of course the you know, the box art for the Nintendo Switch 2, because I thought it looked great and whatnot. Let me know what you guys think about the content that we've been, you know, bringing you guys here on the channel. If you have any suggestions on how to make it even better yet, definitely always open to constructive criticism, as we're trying to continuously move forward and move upward here on the channel, especially going into the Switch 2, man. It's new generation. I want to up my game here. All right, so thanks for watching, and until the next one, game on. Catch you guys later. Okay, but seriously, like, why is Kirby smaller on the Switch 2?